So, tonight we're going to talk about politics a little bit. Okay? As you can tell by the title, it says they keep showing y'all how much they don't care about you, but yet you choose to blame the black man again. Okay? In this day, we're going to be talking about black women. We're going to use the Stacey Abrams versus Brian Kemp, the race down in Florida, or not in Florida, my bad, Georgia, to frame this conversation, because I'm going to make some points here that I think that need to be highlighted, and then we need to keep our eyes on this. I'm going to give people time to get in here because I didn't give a whole lot of time as far as the scheduling is concerned. So I'm going to give people time to get in here. Y'all pull on up, hit that like button for me, and we going to get it in. I'm going to play some of that Nas off that King's Disease 3. Yeah, we're going to be doing that a little bit. So y'all pull on up. I'm going to give people time to get in and play a couple songs off this, and then we're going to get started.
Brave hearts. Let me know what you understand. Is there a heart in the house? Is there a heart in the house? You got to have love. You got to have love in your heart. Yeah. My beginnings was intense. Who'd have thought I'd go legit? For sure. Yeah, we coming blacker than Black Panther 2. Nobody this thorough, that's the truth. Never go against the family, that's something you don't do. Don't get Eddie Kane trying to sing your way back in the group. Nah, stars in the ceiling, got sun in the building, rep that 718. It's hard to depart from that feeling, careful selling weight. The DA be watching you dealing, get yourself straight before they find that paraphernalia. For those who claim 100 million on taxes, beautiful actresses, street dudes who turn activists who used to move packages. No nine still here to remove the wall that our back against. Legitimize all your hustles before the gavel hit. It takes waking up early to face the moment to be in. Should I save it or blow it? I mean, it's only some paper. None of my neighbors too nosy. The Joneses owning some acres. To be the greatest is lonely, but it chose me. I take it, whatever the case may be. I'm out of space so deep. NASA without the A at the end. Take off on 3. What's the cost of a CD? With 1,500 places, one sale. What's that? The 1,500 P's on one scale. For a starving artist trying to sneak out and reroute. Originality I seek out. Let's clean house to black homeowners. Check it out. So black homeowners take over and throw the lease out. This that movie real, the Jordan Peele of this thing. Low key, bullshit, pulling strings behind the scenes. All my soul is for my kids, and the cold shit I done did. All them O's I tried to flip, who'd have thought I'd go legit? Yeah. And the cold shit I done did. Pretty girls who let me hit, who'd have thought I'd go legit? Yeah. And the cold shit that you did. All them O's who tried to flip, who'd have thought you'd go legit? Grown man business, COVID closed, jail visits. Stove still lit, many still on the scales with it. System failed, my niggas in the trial hearing no bail. Eyewitness showed up and snitches. I read Jesus' diary and ran to tell the streets. No, this ain't no hype, we in the belly of the beast. All they said was I would be a felon, be deceased. Instead I'm in Margiela in Loewe with the crease. The consummate, kill them all, call the bomb squad and the SWAT for this. Got off the block for this. All my soul is for the kids and the cold shit that I did. Pretty girls who let me hit, it's only right I went legit. And the cold shit I done did. All them O's I tried to flip, who'd have thought I'd go legit? Yeah, I do it for y'all. And the cold shit that you did. All them O's you tried to flip, who'd have thought you'd go legit? Do it for y'all. Yeah, we was just chilling on the sofa. No job, no school, ghetto babies. I was small town to big time. You could do it too, go legit. Yeah, believe in yourself. Live the life you deserve. That's how we do. I ain't forget the roaches and mice. I ain't forget all that.
One more, y'all. We're going to start after this one. This shit cold, too. And fuck 21 Savage. What you mean?
My comfort give you discomfort. Just know that in the hood they gon' bump this. And I'm only strong as my circle. The things that shape me would emerge. I didn't have to die so that they could call me the great one. Didn't with hot sauce to tune the tartar, drinking in RRs from hiding from robbery victims and back of cop cars, tatted from my neck to abdomen, almost getting shot was averaging once every 2 weeks. Bless what I had to been. It's painful words hearing these liars putting my name in dirt, aiming I burst, pistol practice until my fingers hurt. I hit my target, I up the margin. What they on, you know how Nas do. Don't get me started. Chic, sleek, and snazzy from a small family. Fine taste, and I hate the unsatisfactory. We could gun blast a party, great Gatsby theme. Bring your first ladies or come with your new nasty thing. Cause every other day I'm reminding myself I reached every goal that was high on the shelf. My comfort give you discomfort. Just know that in the hood they gon' bump this. In a moment strong as my circle. The things that shape me would emerge. The things that shape me. And now I like to reminisce. The things that shape me. Cause what we doing right now is really lit. The things that shape me would emerge. When you high as me, you get highly critiqued. Hopped on a beat, purposely sounding like 9-3, none quite like me. So haters could SMD. When they bitter like black licorice, my life still sweet. I went for the cash grab, crack cash with my math class, fresh white tee. 2 diamond crosses look like a hashtag, news is fake. Never knew I soon relate to Tom Brady going for 7 in Tampa Bay. Is that crazy? I ain't never been bothered, that bothered you. You ain't born for this shit, being great is too hard for you. That's a hater problem, they try to say it first what you might say about them. While you stuck in the past, I stay evolving. Can't just reminisce only, gotta live in the moment. Talk my shit at the moment with the weekend performing. I'm chosen, got off the big Bowen and Rick Owens. Rick Owens, peep how different it look on us. My comfort give you discomfort. Just know that in the hood they gon' bump this. In the moment strong as my circle. The things that shape me would emerge. The things that shape me. The streets, the beef, the beats. The things that shape me. The creeps, the beats, the beat. The things that shape me would emerge. And now I like to reminisce. Shout to Mary J. Blige, Y.O., QB. Cause what we doing right now is really lit. Those things are great, man. Today, what we doing is next level.
Okay.
That was then, this is now.
Okay. Okay. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Listen, y'all. First and foremost, shout out Team Rob. Y'all already know what the fuck it is. Black first, second, and third. And listen, I don't charge people nothing. Y'all know I'm be on here begging for bread and all that old shit. But y'all gonna hit that like button for me, though. Real quick. Like, it don't take you nothing. Just go ahead and hit that like button before we get started. Let me give you some work to do before I get in here and do this work. Hit that like button for me if you in here, if you've been fucking with me, you've been rocking with me. You know I don't be on no bullshit. Hit that like button for me real quick, all right? Listen, I wanted to come have this conversation, but before we get into that conversation, let me say in short, if you didn't hear me before, fuck 21 Savage, okay? Fuck anybody who has the same mindset as 21 Savage, who will say that Nasir Jones is irrelevant. This man is upward towards in his 50s. I don't know his exact age, but he keep dropping fire after hot fire of relevant music to those who care about lyricism, actual lyricism, not bang bang shoot 'em up. I got hoes. I'ma spin the block. Something other than that. I got this money. I got all. Something other than that. Nas been spitting bars since, goddamn, 93, 91. And for a bitch ass motherfucker like 21 Savage, who hails clean straight from the motherfucking UK, this motherfucker probably cried when Queen Elizabeth's bitch ass died. I'm not gonna let a bitch ass motherfucker like that come out his mouth just because he live in Atlanta, came to Atlanta, and took on this bullshit rap that they be doing down there a lot of time. This bullshit rap that's kind of taking over the airwaves. He came off this double album with him and Drake, which wasn't nothing but him basically being featured on an overall Drake album. They went #1, did some big numbers, and he think now he get to come out of his motherfucking mouth and talk about some goddamn Nas. Get the fuck out of here, you hoe ass nigga. Okay, that was my little eulogy for bitch ass 21 Savage. You don't get to do that. And all these young folk that be out here talking like these old niggas need to sit down and get a game over to. No. Us people who have been listening to hip hop, who respect rap with lyricism, are always going to respect Nas. Nas is going to always be in your top 3, and if he not, you need to be rethinking that. You need to go back and listen to these albums that he's been making over the last 3 or 4 years now. You need to really do some work. And you can go all the way back to 93 if you need to. Illmatic, you can pick up I Am. You can also pick up Stillmatic. Like, we're not going to let bitch ass motherfuckers like 21 Savage come out here and open his mouth and say that Nas is irrelevant. That's ridiculous. Okay? That's just my little, just to get that out the way real quick. Okay? Like, real quick. Like, I'm talking about he don't sound old in that motherfucker. He got Hit Boy producing, giving him some way, some great production. Because that's been some of the criticisms of Nas in the past, is his production. Hit Boy lacing him. Hit Boy is lacing him. And Nas is out here dropping. For people who like storytelling and actual lyricism, fuck 21 Savage, okay? And if y'all could, real quick, just so he can get to his proper attention, y'all, hashtag fuck 21 Savage in the comment section. Could y'all do that for me real quick? Hashtag fuck 21 Savage. Ho ass nigga. Talking about spinning blocks. Hashtag fuck 21 Savage, okay? Y'all put that in the comments for me. That's what's gonna give me some energy tonight. Hashtag fuck 21 Savage. And anybody that's gonna disrespect a hip hop legend like Nas, fuck 21 Savage, okay? Now, we're going to have a conversation that's going to be framed around politics. Okay? We're going to have a conversation that's framed around politics. And the reason I must do this, and I appreciate y'all for putting fuck 21 Savage in the comments. We're going to frame this conversation around politics because we have to deal with what happened in Georgia. Okay? We're going to frame this around what happened in Georgia as Abrams ran up against Kemp. A black woman versus a cave. And we saw this coming. Those of us that have been paying attention, many of us who don't even fuck with this political process at all, who do not vote, who have to hear people who do vote, we have to listen to their fucking mouths every time it's so-called voting season. We have to listen to people's fucking mouths talk about how much they vote and we should vote. And if we don't vote, then we can't say nothing. I mean, it's the same fucking bullshit. Your ancestors died for the right. Were murdered for the right is the actual proper way to say it. And that right doesn't mean anything because the system is corrupt and ran by money. This is why when we talk about over here politics, we frame it as a plutocracy. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up. And an oligarchy. If you don't know what that is, look it up as well. So that way you understand the framework in which we talk about politics over here is if it's capitalism driven, therefore it cannot ever be revolutionary. Therefore, it cannot ever be liberating. It can only be a system and tool that is used by people who have lots of money. And we're going to get back to that point here in a second. We knew that they were going to blame black men for this. We knew that when we saw the no voting, no vucking, the mockery, the trash that a one Saucy Santana and Trina made as a part of their advertising to get black people to the polls. No vote, no fucking. Basically, they were saying to black men, if you don't vote, you don't get no pussy. I would argue I don't have much interest in fucking a woman who would decide that she gonna go stand in the line for a goddamn poll any goddamn way. Okay, so those of us who are in this mindset didn't give a fuck if you want to hold on to your pussy to control some damn vote. No one gave a fuck. And particularly if you got Saucy, his big flaming homosexual ass over there talking about no vote, no fucking. No one gives a fuck what he was talking about anyway. No one gives a fuck what Trina was talking about. No one would give a fuck about any woman that's sitting out here talking about you can't get no pussy if you don't vote. Nobody cared. But I knew then when I made that, when we did that live stream, I knew they were framing it to blame black men as to, well, y'all black men aren't voting enough and y'all are the reason that Stacey Abrams have been unsuccessful in winning down there in Georgia. I knew what they were doing then. And sure enough, she lost. Kemp won again. And now you have not all black women, of course, but you have these talking heads who are anti-black men anyway. This is something that yet again black men are blamed for. If you see the screenshot that I have for the video, you'll see a cave bitch sitting on a black woman like a chair. This has been the understanding of feminism since its inception. There was a trick played on black women where they were getting punched in the face by cavemen and cave women, but the image that was put in front of them was a black man. So, if you can close your eyes and envision this, a black woman being punched in the fucking face. She's blindfolded, getting hit in the goddamn face. White man, white woman just railing in, knocking her ass out. And they lift her blindfold up and stand a black man right there in front of her. And they put the blindfold back on her. The caves go ham on her again, lift the blindfold up, and they place a black man right there. That was what the feminist movement that was able to get black women to support them, that's what it was like. At least that's how I envision it. That's what it was like. So as they were able to convince black women that black men were the source of the issues. We knew these cave bitches had issues with their men, and we can see that all the way back to the would-be suffrage movement. Susan B. Anthony, these cave assholes, were begging to be seen as equal enough, smart enough, intelligent enough to even cast a vote. This was the struggle they were having with their men. To be paid at the same wage for doing the same work. This was the struggle they were having. Black women took to it, and they didn't go in having the issue with the white man, who was the same bitch made motherfucker that the white woman had a problem with. At least you could have just had issues with that white man. He was the one causing the goddamn problems. He the one that wasn't giving a fuck when you were violated. He didn't give a fuck. This so-called justice system didn't give a fuck nothing about women, and particularly black women, at all. He the one that was not paying you proper wages. He was the one putting that glass ceiling up there. But black women were made to believe that it was the black man. And I'm going to tell you why this is relevant. Flash forward 70, 80 years. Stacey Abrams running as a Democrat down in Georgia, trying to get the cave up out the seat. Last time she lost, people said it was black men's fault. Let me show y'all something. And I'm going to show you why this feminism piece, it is why I'm saying that. Hold on, let me share the screen with y'all. Because there needs to be some understanding here as to what this really is. And I think there's some confusions about what this really is. Let me show y'all this. Can y'all see that? The thing that the caves have been able to do with us black people is convince us that acting like them is relevant for our liberation. That it matters for our liberation. This is why you have black women who will adopt their ideas of feminism and what it means to be a woman from cave bitches, and black men who adopt their ideas of masculinity and what it means to be in a I ain't going to say a hierarchy, but they adopt this idea of masculinity from cavemen. Okay? The trick has worked on us both. Now, of course, we can never deal with this way because we are still wanting to sit around pointing fingers at each other as opposed to just sitting down and looking at both our contributions to this bullshit. Nobody wants to do that work. It's not as sensational. You don't get as many views for doing that type of work. And particularly when we're talking about where social commentary is concerned. Okay? So they done ran this trick on us. And again, I just want to lay this out here to y'all. Y'all see this, right? This is sex by race, and this is how the votes were cast and what people were doing here. If you look up here up top, here, very immediately, there should be an issue. It says white men voted for Stacey Abrams at 23%. White women voted for Stacey Abrams at 27%. Y'all see that? They voted for Kemp at the rate of 76% for white men. For white women, 72%. You can see that immediately. I don't try to tell black people. I tell black people this all the time. You can believe that Georgia equals Atlanta. You can believe that Atlanta equals black-owned city, but you're wrong. And romanticizing Atlanta as such is a problem because it creates a false reality that you are in control, that you have some power over what's going on down there. You don't. You don't. Georgia is a cave state, a cave southern state. So when you break that part down and you look at the history as far as we're talking about the Civil War here and slavery is concerned, the Dixiecrats of the South, the Confederate flag, all those things, these are the caves. That's just what it is. Those caves are in power positions in those states, and they make up the majority of people in those states. Period. Somehow we've allowed this illusion that Atlanta equals black people own the whole block. No, you don't. And particularly when we're talking about the idea of voting and the popular vote deciding who wins. In this case, it was the governor's race. Look at this. 76% white men, 72% white women. Where are these white bitches at when you need them, black women? You always there for them. Where are these cave bitches at when you need them? When you are running against another, a white man in this case, where the fuck are these bitches at? If they're going to come out and be a feminist against their men, which what they claim, they're anti-white men, which we know that's not true, right? They're anti him. Why the fuck won't they back you? Why won't they do that? Why won't they do it? You're gonna have to deal with the fact that the only time they're gonna back you is if you're racing against a black man. That's the only way they're gonna back you. Against their own, the motherfucker that made them have to go through the suffrage movement, that white man that you thought they were against. No, they're voting for him at the rate of 72%. Where are these white bitches at when you need them? They got your back, right? You carried them through feminism, right? You carried on their tropes and their ideologies against your men. Where are these bitches at when you need them? When you want to put one of your own or one of your own is running to win a political race, where the fuck these bitches at? They don't even have to answer for that because they know you're not going to ask that question. Where the fuck are the white bitches at? If you can see, black men voted for Stacey Abrams at an 84% rate. Black women, 93%. Now, black women did vote for her more. Black men at 84%. But still, look at the comparison. Even the so-called Latino men and women and all other races. Look at the comparison here. Who voted for her, Stacey Abrams, the most? Black folk. Let that be the truth that you lead with. Black men and women voted for Stacey Abrams at the highest rate. White men and women voted for Stacey Abrams at the lowest rate. Where the fuck are these motherfuckers at when you need them? Where? Y'all claim the white man love you, huh? He love you? Love you long time, don't he? Where the fuck is he at when it come time to put you in a position of power like this? Now they'll come out here and tell you, well, we gonna give y'all a Goldman Sachs, I think it was, or one of these stupid ass banks, talking about what they gonna give black women as far as them starting their own businesses. Where the fuck are they at when you need them to be put in positions of power like at a governor or even a mayor? Where the fuck are they at? And why don't you ask these questions? We've been backing y'all. This is basically what y'all can tell them. We've been backing y'all bitches since the 60s and 70s. Where's the love? But no. Instead, they able to punch you in your motherfucking face, blindfold you, punch you in your face, caveman and cavewoman beat the shit out of you, and sit a black man right in front of you and take your blindfold off and say he did it. That's what they've been able to do to you. They're continuing to do that to you right now to this day. Because now in the area where we're dealing with this social commentary, you have black women that are out here saying this stupid ass shit. Again, I'm not going to say it's all black women. I'm not going to say it's most black women. But enough black women are saying it to where it makes the black women that are saying this shit, it should look dumb. Everybody in the black community should be looking at these motherfuckers in their face and like, bitch, sit your ass down. Until you stand up and call out the white man and his mama, the bitch that got you in that movement with him, until you stand up and call them out, you don't get to say shit to nobody. You don't get to say anything to anyone. Nobody wants to hear from you. At all. You have not earned the right to speak because the very people you align with don't support you. Black people voted for Stacey Abrams. Now, I don't think it would have mattered because I believe the political process and the political arena is corrupt. But the numbers speak for themselves. The numbers speak for themselves. How do we continue to ignore this? How are we continuing to let this shit ride? How do we keep falling for this same ass trick? Clearly, the only people that's going to support us in large number is us. And instead of that being the truth that people speak, instead of that being the commentary, well, black men should have voted more. Why the fuck ain't you talking to the caves? Why aren't you telling them motherfuckers that they should have voted more? Why doesn't that matter? They the ones you riding with. They the ones you riding with. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all why this don't matter any goddamn way. And this is why I don't even trust people that believe in politics. Let me show y'all why it don't matter. Let me show y'all this post. It's something I shared up on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, the link's in the description box. We just gonna walk through here. Cause I try to make everything and put everything on a common sense level for black folk. No matter what reality you want to create in your mind, the illusion that you created in your mind, the facts remain. Ain't nobody got your back but you. And until black folk realize that and understand that, and instead of trying to copy these caves, we're gonna be stuck here. Let me show y'all something. This here says, and it's a caveman sharing these numbers. Says billionaire midterm spending. 2010, 32 million. 2014, 232 million. 2018, 611 million. 2022, 881 million and counting. Says no matter what happens with these elections, we absolutely must overturn Citizens United and get big money out of our politics. And this is just basically a bar graph showing you the escalation of the money. Let me show y'all something. Says here, $32 million was put into the midterm election process here in 2010. This is when the Citizens United decision became a thing. This is basically, them motherfuckers basically just lifted the motherfucking, the dam broke. They just broke the dam and said, come on, bring all your money in here. Send it all. It should have been a problem then. This is why people, and when I talk politics to people, this is what people they generally don't understand what I'm saying here. This should have been a problem since it was $32 million. Not only at the midterm election cycle, but also the presidential elections. It should be a problem immediately, even at $32 million. His argument is that it's increased over the years due to a decision made by the Citizens United decision, which to me is a moot point. It should have been problematic at $32 million. Period. It should be something insidious and wrong about adding or introducing capitalism into politics, and we understand they didn't just introduce it in 2010. That's been a part of this system since its inception. That the understanding was only rich or well-off landowners, white men, could vote. This is what it's built on. This is historical fact. This is why these cave bitches went and did the suffrage movement. Because they weren't wealthy white men that owned land. These were only people that could vote. This is what y'all so-called democracy was built on. Wealthy white men could vote. The rest of you motherfuckers don't even matter. That's what they said immediately. So even though they're making it seem like, well, in 2010 it was 32 million, since the beginning, the devaluing of the opinions of regular people, working class people, they never gave a fuck about that. And they were able to take this voting process and split it up. First, you had the white men, the wealthier white men that could vote, land-owning white men. And then they worked in the other caves that could vote. And they worked in they bitches after they begged them for the right to vote. Then black folk went through the process as well after being so-called free from the plantation. We went through the process of getting our rights to vote as it pertains to so-called minorities. And what you saw happen was the more and more they gave people the right to vote, the more and more that vote didn't mean shit because you had to have money to funnel into this system. They call it lobbying. They use a soft word for bribery and taking bribes, which should be illegal, but they use a soft word for it. It's called lobbying. They made that a part of the political conversation. This is why you can hear people now get on TV and they're giving political commentary and they'll just talk about lobbyists and lobbying like it's nothing. It's a part of the process. Because at its inception, it only valued you if you had money. Capitalism. It's been corrupt since the very beginning. Nobody broke it all the way the fuck down and made it a actual system that you could actually rely on. No, a politician gonna go wherever the fucking money blows. So when you have, let's say, for example, Big Farm funneling millions of dollars into our politics. Pardon me, I didn't mean to say our politics, but American 3Ks, don't get this shit fucked up, incorporated politics. They're not ours at all. Because if they was ours, then it would be something that's moved and focused. The focus would be working class people. Okay? Not lobbying. You even have black people, some of the smartest black people amongst us, that believe that we need to have the power to buy politicians. And that's how we begin to move the needle to get things done for us. Completely ignoring that when you black, your money don't fucking matter at all. It's an illusion. Your money doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Ask Kanye. Ask Kyrie. Your money don't matter. You black. You're black. Okay? But we're being told that we need to buy politicians, and this is how we, get a foot up as far as the legalese is concerned in this country. As far as laws are concerned in this country, we need to be buying people. Even those that have the best intentions, if they get into the political arena, they ain't gonna be able to do shit. Because money controls it. So what is the point of having somebody that would be, truthful, that would be honest, that get into this arena? They're going to be outnumbered. This is why you don't have any rights specifically for black people now, even though you've had black people engaging in this political arena for a long time. It doesn't matter. You're not going to get nothing carved out for specifically black people. That's why. The country's anti-black and pro-capitalism. And because the country can't be addressed as such, because we can't have that conversation, we keep trying to come up with ideas on how to infuse ourselves into it. That's why black people stuck. That's why we remain to be stuck. Because we keep having conversations like this shit is real. And it's not. And you could just look at this bar graph and it shows you it's not. It's not real. This shit is about capitalism. That's why, again, oligarchy, plutocracy. Even if Stacey Abrams would have won, it wouldn't have meant shit for black people down there in Georgia, because she couldn't do anything specifically for black people, because they're not going to support her if she does things specifically for black people. She'll have to do things for everybody. That's how politics work. And I don't give a damn. There's a lot of people that's going to come out here and shame you if you don't vote. They'll tell you don't understand how this shit work. Yes, the fuck I do. I've seen black people, be they mayors, be they governors, be they sheriffs, be they judges, be they even a fucking president. They cannot do anything for specifically black people. Therefore, their presence is simply a matter of representation at best. And understand that black people are the type of people who believe representation really matters. We believe that. We bought into that idea hook, line, and motherfucking sinker. Representation. We just want to see us be places. Still don't have no power in these places. Still can't do nothing specifically with black people in these places, but scold black people. You saw that with y'all first black president, Barack Obama. Can't do nothing. Scold black people. Tell black people to give us bootstrap talks. Talk to us about crime. That's all that ever happens. I don't give a damn if you got you a black ADA. Doesn't matter. None of this shit matters, because all they do is end up getting in positions and being anti-black. That's what happens. I saw that, I think it was Maryland. They elected a black man. I want to say, I don't know what it was, governor or mayor, but there was the first black man. I don't think that's going to change nothing for Maryland. Now, Maryland did just legalize marijuana. They did just do that. So that may bring in some big revenue for the state. But as far as that black man being in that position is concerned, that ain't going to do shit for Maryland. That ain't going to do shit. Because he can't call black people out by name unless he's scolding black people. That's all. You'll see that time and time again. That's all these motherfuckers do is scold black people. Even with Barack's wife and Michelle, all she want to do is scold black people. Y'all ain't voting enough. That's all you ever hear. If y'all won't change, y'all need to vote. No, if we won't change, we need to stand up against this corrupt ass system. How the fuck did we let them change the narrative to if we won't change, we need to vote? And if you study voting, if you study the history of voting, that's a lie. That's a lie. There ain't nothing about voting changing shit for black folk. And we'll ask the age-old question at this point. Did black people vote for integration? Which, again, I don't think this did. I think integration fucked black people up. But again, just making this point, you didn't vote for integration. You didn't vote for the Civil Rights Act. You didn't vote for the right to vote. You've made no movements as a people by voting. None. Not one. The fact that you continue to ignore those facts lets me know there's a delusion happening here. Oh, banana in a tailpipe ass niggas. And you see the banana. As we continue to fight amongst ourselves, instead of uniting together and standing against a corrupt system. It's completely ridiculous at this point. We watch it happen over and over again. First black this, first black that. That shit hasn't mattered yet. Because those black people are going to be pigeonholed by whoever is lobbying them. And even that is, it's a mirage, really. Because if black people, even if you sent money, sent all the money you could, You still not going to get shit done because then America will take over. 3Ks, don't get this shit fucked up, Incorporated. America Incorporated going to take over then. Then it's going to just say, no, we anti-black. You know it. But, yeah, you sent the money, but no. The most successful that we've ever been. Period. Throughout history, you'll see glimpses and flashes of it. Is when black people are united doing things for ourselves. Some people will flash back to Black Wall Street. And when you start saying Black Wall Streets, make it plural, because that's the actuality. That's the reality of what it was. We'll flash back to those times. We'll talk about Black Wall Streets. You didn't vote your way into a Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street was built out of necessity. Black people needing to stick together post the so-called freeing off those plantations. You didn't vote your way into no goddamn Black Wall Street. That ain't what you did. That's not what happened. Nobody would accept you. The caves would accept you. So you made your own way. That's exactly what we need to do again. But people act like that's crazy talk. That's crazy, crazy, crazy talk. And black people don't see any relevancy in that. Because we just out here living our best lives, securing all these bags. The fact that black men will be blamed for a corrupt system. Now, mind you, the system itself is corrupt. It is corrupt in itself. But for somebody not winning, a black woman in this case, black men are going to be blamed. Not white men, not white women. White men in particular, the builders of this corrupt ass system, the enforcers of this corrupt ass system. And the only thing that black people think they can do that's revolutionary is be anti-democrat. Have y'all noticed that? That's the new wave. Oh, the Democrats this, the Democrats that. They keeping us, slave mentality, and they ain't did nothing. Like, that's as far as you've made it. You still got a long way to go. Because at some point, you're going to have to stand up, and your verbiage, your disdain cannot be just against the Democratic Party. It has to be an indictment of America. 3Ks don't get this shit fucked up, Incorporated. It has to be an indictment of the entire system. Because as long as you stand up yelling at the Democrats, you still look dumb. Because now you're saying, well, the Republicans are the better choice. And that's supposed to be revolutionary. You have these coons out here like Candace Owens, like a Kanye, that think that, well, we just gonna be Republican. Well, I'm a conservative. Y'all know we call them coon conservatives over here. If I just be a coon conservative, then everything gonna be okay. This is what black people need to do. They need to vote coon conservative. And if another one of y'all send me this Angela Staunton King or Angela King or whatever the fuck, if another one of y'all send me her videos, we're gonna have a problem. Rob, she's speaking that real. I'm not listening to no black person, period, that supports the Republican Party with conviction. Supports Donald Trump with conviction. This bitch is sitting around supporting what's the governor of Florida? Is it Ron DeSantis? That's her dream ticket. I listened to a video. Somebody sent me some shit on her, and I'm sitting here going through listening to some of her shit. I'm like, this motherfucker's a coon. Why are y'all sending me this? Yeah, she speaks powerfully, and you know what you would think she'd be against the system. No, she's not. She want the ticket to be Trump DeSantis 2024. I'm not listening to her. I don't give a fuck what that bitch talking about. She's dumb. Is it Angela Staunton King or Stanton King or whatever the fuck? Like, I'm not listening to that. I'm not listening to that. Don't send me that talking about how real she is to you. I don't see how you did it, but don't send that shit to me. Anybody that's talking in the political arena that is supportive of either side of this thing. Now, you could fairly say, well, this bill was introduced by this person. They may be Democrat. I fucks with that bill. I fucks with that part of it. Or, this person may be a fucking, this Democrat got some shit out here. I fuck with that. This Republican may say something. Oh, I fuck with that. But to sit here and say that this one of these two sides is the way to liberation for not only just black people, but working class people, period. Something's fucking wrong with you. Something has to be wrong with you because you're ignoring the elephant in the motherfucking room. And that's that capitalism rules this nation. And we are the reason that capitalism works the way it does. Not actually the capitalist. It ain't really them the reason that it work like it do. It's the working class people that make it work like it do. And you always the one begging. Tired of your fucking medications being so high. Tired of insurance being, out the fucking roof with prices. You the one complaining, but yet you're the one responsible for it. Because you participate. It's your participation that makes these prices be high. It's your participation that makes you have to work 2-3 fucking jobs just to make ends meet. And you run your ass down there to the polls. You take days off. Take time off work. Not getting paid. Run your ass down there to the polls. And then you feel like you done did something as you go right back to participating in the system. It doesn't make any sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Makes none. You're the reason this shit works. You're the reason that it's able to move the way it does. And as black men and women out here continue to conduct ourselves at such a low level, not being able to see who our actual enemies are, who is against us for real. As long as y'all continue to operate the way that y'all do, we're going to be here. We're not going to move. The only thing that's going to move and keep moving forward is technology. That's it. As we continue to use words like nuance. Ain't nothing new about none of this shit. I don't even know what the fuck y'all niggas be talking about. The nuance. Ain't no nuance. We still running around looking at each other yelling. Blaming each other for every goddamn thing. While the caves is running around here running a full-blown muck system, full-blown corrupt. And we keep looking at each other yelling. Ain't nothing new about that. That's what y'all been doing since integration. That's what we've been doing since integration. Understand this. When we have these political conversations and we start pointing the blame at each other, they look at us and say, it's working. It's working. And it continues to work. Because how can you look at the rate? I'm going to show y'all this shit again. I'm going to show y'all this one more time. And then I'm going to take some of y'all's comments. Let me show y'all this. How can you look at this and blame black men? How the fuck is that possible? When the very caves that you divestment bitches be talking about got your back, love you so goddamn much, what happened? The sisterhood that black women pseudo created, really, with cave bitches doing the feminist movement, what happened? How do you explain this? How do you explain this? What type of self-hater must you be to see this, know this, understand this? Even as y'all was talking about, black folk was mad about Donald Trump winning. Them white bitches that y'all been standing up with, holding your fist up with, acting like y'all are some type of sisterhood, because you dealing with the same problems as these bitches. At least you believe you are. Where the fuck do they be? They're supporting the very man that they act like they're against. You don't see the trick in that? Well, we have women out here that will live and die by their so-called intuition. That bullshit. You don't see this? These white men, 76%. These white bitches, 72%. You don't see this? You go straight to black men? How is that possible? If you look at this chart, what male group, and I'm going to look in the comments for this. I'm going to ask y'all a question. What male group supports black women more than anybody else? Y'all can tell me by looking at the goddamn chart. What male group? Beth, I'm going to get to your comment in a minute. What male group supports black women more than anybody else? I'm gonna see if y'all can figure this out. Based on the chart, some of y'all slow. We do. Black men do. Black men do. Some of y'all slow in the comments. Let me get to y'all's comments. Some of y'all slow. JT talking about some damn white men. What? The hell you talking about, boy? White men? Not based on what they do and what they vote. Nope. Hold on, let me get this off the screen. Let me get some of y'all's comments. Mad love to y'all for that's been listening to me so far. That's following me through here. Let me get some of y'all's comments. Hold on, let me get this. Let's get back over here. Stop sharing the screen. Mad love to y'all. If you haven't hit the like button for me, hit the like button for me. Let me get some of y'all's comments. Right. This is what the false. According to Mike said, according to black women, Bradley and them. That's now see, most black women ain't on that stupid shit. Let me just tell you the truth. Most black women aren't on that dumb shit. They not on that dumb shit. But that's what a lot of these motherfuckers will have you believe. But that ain't it. JT says white men overall, collectively and consistently, day by day, do support black women more and the most. How is that possible? White men overall, collectively and consistently, day by day, do support black women more and the most. Based on what? Based on what? What are you saying that's based on, bro? Or sis, I don't know whether you are a man or a woman. What are you saying that based on? We saw, black men voting for the black woman in Georgia. So even in the face of that, you can still be anti-black man? That's ridiculous. It's a little bit ridiculous. It's a little bit ridiculous to say that based on what the numbers say. As for, again, we're framing this around Georgia and the people who voted in Georgia for this particular political race, based on the numbers, how can you say white men? Most of them white dudes voted for Kemp. So what are you saying that based on? And even as black men are hearing, all these negative things about themselves, they still came out and supported Stacey Abrams. I want to know what this is based on. Why are you leaving? Like, you don't got to leave. It's okay. I just want to hear the logic. I want to hear the logic. Right, rolling. I don't know what the fuck. Somebody earlier asked me, what's the solution? What's the solution? Right? Let me see if I can find that comment. I appreciate y'all for Beth. So what's the solution? This question is one of those questions that no matter how any black person answers it, black people aren't going to listen, because it requires black men and women to wipe the coon out their eyes. It requires that. It requires you to focus on your true enemy, and it's not each other. So when this question is asked, even when it was asked before I was born, nobody gave a fuck about the solution, because it requires that you wipe the coon out your eye. Black man, black woman. It requires that you open your eyes to the reality. And instead of fighting against sticking together, letting that be your only option. That's the solution, not politics. I promise you it ain't there. Matter of fact, I don't have to just promise you it ain't, because that sounds more like a faith-based thing, a faith-based argument. Look at reality. What the fuck have politics done brought us through? What has it done? I'm seeing videos of, where you have these positions where the caves are in control of these positions. It was something I posted up on my Instagram about. It was about black women talking about their hair, as to why in these positions that they're getting into in Hollywood. In this case, it was black women were talking about their hair and how they're being locked out of certain positions because of their hair, and that's cave Hollywood that will seek to reject you over your hair. That's cave Hollywood. But it doesn't get called out like that. We don't call out the actual enemy by name. We'll generalize it. Or make it very specific to black men or black women. This is how black men and women talk, especially in particular when we talk about these social media platforms. That's how we talk. We talk like that about each other, as opposed to looking at the reality. You're right. Right, Mike. I don't know why that person said they had to leave. Like, I don't know. Okay, Goldman Sachs. JT says, was it Goldman Sachs that gave/will give black women $10K to start businesses and white men don't support black women? I would have to see the actuality of that. We just talked about that earlier. They claim, but again, that's giving them money to start a business. What about putting a black woman in position of power down in Georgia? That's what we're talking about here. JT. That's a promise that they said they would give black women that money, but I haven't heard of no black woman building no business off no Goldman Sachs money. I ain't heard of it. I did see it. It was a thing, but I ain't heard of it actually coming into fruition. And they owe black women more than that. I'm going to tell you something that's interesting that they're able to do. They're able to come out here and show little glimpses of what would be so-called humanity. They owe black women and black people more than that. Them little crumbs they'll give us, and will in particular give a piece of us, that ain't shit. No, let me see. Hold on, let me look at this. Hold on, I'm going to share the screen with y'all to show y'all this. Here it is. That's what they're talking about right here. It says, grounded in research, Goldman Sachs' 1 Million Black Women Initiative is investing $10 billion over the next decade to help narrow opportunity gaps facing black women. Follow our journey of progress to our first $1 billion invested. Now, again, this is something that they're doing. They're forking out over the next decade. What's over the next 10 years? Let me see when this was. See if I can find out who. Got black women in all flavors right here. Chilling in their little business suits and shit like that. Looking fly. Looking fly. But guess what? They owe black women more than that. This entire country owes black people more than that. Honestly. It says Goldman Sachs 1 million black women commits $10 billion in direct investment capital and $100 million in philanthropic support to help positively impact the lives of black women across several impact areas over the next decade. Even though right now black women are leading the league in evictions, but we'll continue. Since our 2021 launch, we have already deployed over $1 billion in investment capital and over $20 million in philanthropic grants to 116 organizations, companies, and projects nationwide. If this is true, why are black women leading the league in evictions? This is not hating. I want black women to get whatever. I want black women to get whatever. And this is in particularly black women that have businesses and philanthropic causes, but the black women that need the most help are not walking around in business suits. I promise you that. I promise you that. So if you believe them, throwing some crumbs at black women makes the white man supporting black women, no, he will make black people whole. That's what, if it was really about that. If it was really, really about that. Ask Murphy, you wildin'. Says, hey, what if you got a white chick that hates this government? Do you get a pass? No. Not from me. Not from me. I'll say that you don't get a pass from me because one of the things that you'll notice about the caves is they'll be anti-government, some of them. But they're not anti-racism. They're not anti-racism at all. They're not anti-racism at all. But if this is your metric on the white man supporting black women, then I understand. I understand why you think that. I understand why you think that. I want you to try to think about who is the one evicting black women at the rate that they're evicting black women. Do you think that's black men throwing black women and children out on the street? Do you believe that's us? You can tell me. No, this ain't hate. No. Mela Britt says we might be leading eviction because some of y'all can't even get a place in y'all own name. I feel like you hating on us, Rob. Then you need to get your sensitive ass the fuck out of here. That's all that means, Mela. Get the fuck up out of here. That's all that means. That you're listening with a black woman who is waiting to have a reason to hate black men or feel like they're being hated on by black men. I'm not the one throwing you out on the fucking street. So you can get the fuck out of here with that and take that shit up with the caves. This is black people's problems. Both black men and women want to bring their problems and put them at the feet of other black people instead of taking your goddamn problems to the caves. They're the ones throwing your ass out on the street with your children. Don't bring that shit to me. Get the fuck out of here. Anybody who feels like I'm hating, you can get the fuck out of here. Because I'm tired of black men and women doing this shit. Take your problems up with the caves. They're the ones doing that shit. Period. When I hear black men talk about, black women getting them thrown into jail, who the fuck is making that money putting you in prison? You take that up with the caves. Y'all take y'all's problems up with the wrong people. and you can get the fuck out of here. Please leave. Don't give a fuck nothing about what you're talking about. You can get out. I'll be here when you get done cooning. Promise you. I'll be here. Danielle, you can get the fuck out of here too. Like I'm the one throwing you out your house. I'm hating how? Tell me how I'm hating. Instead of just saying I'm hating. Don't get it confused. I'm not the type of black man that's gonna just sit here and allow cooning to go unchecked. I'm not doing that. I don't do that for none of y'all. I don't give a fuck who you are. Danielle, you can get the fuck out of here too. How am I hating? Like, how is this hate? I'm not bragging about the fact that black women are leading the league in evictions. That's not a brag. That's not a brag. I'm asking you who's throwing them out. Who are the so-called landlords that's throwing them out in the street? That's the question. But y'all don't want to answer that fucking question though. You want to tell me I'm hating because I just said it. Like, get the fuck out of here. Nah, I ain't one of them ones. I ain't one of them ones. I don't need you here. The fuck you mean? How am I hating? We need to keep our eye on who the actual enemy is. That's all I'm saying. And even though they're giving y'all, I said we read they're giving black women $100 billion or $10 billion over the next 10 years. They owe you more than that. This entire country does. It owes black people trillions of dollars. Trillions. And the black women that need the most help is the reason I brought the evictions up. The black women that need the most help may not have their own business. They may not be an entrepreneur. They're getting thrown on the damn street. Fuck you mean hating? But that's me though. Boy, I tell you what, it's tough. It's tough. And I'm gonna tell you what's so crazy, Abdul. Abdul said the truth is hate now, we're really in trouble. For a black woman to get on this platform and tell me, like, this is where, and I still I'm not gonna turn my back. Y'all ain't gotta worry about that. These coons that come up here, you don't have to worry about me turning my back on black women or black men. You don't have to worry about me because some coons gonna come out of the woodwork and say stupid shit to me. You don't have to worry about that because I'm 10 toes down in this shit. But it's tough. Because the actual truth is, we've had one enemy the whole time we've been here. And we don't see him. Like, we do not see them. It's almost like they're invisible. This is why I gave that, the analogy I gave is like, a motherfucker will sit there and beat a black man or black woman's ass, blindfold on, set a black person in front of them and say they did it. And we'll just believe them. As these motherfucking billionaires are buying up all these houses, raising the rent up. That's black men's fault too. To make the rent, the jobs ain't even paying you a livable wage. At all. That's black people, period. Not paying you a livable wage. Raising the cost of goods under this guise of so-called inflation. Did I do that too? That's my fault too? I did that. These greedy capitalist motherfucking caves that y'all continue to cape for and continue to love, they're the ones doing that shit. Like, how the fuck is that me? I told y'all the working class people suffers the brunt of anything that goes on in this country, but we continue to participate. And black people are the dumbest group amongst the working class people because we keep looking at each other. At least these caves, they have the decency enough to look at the fucking government. They have a problem with the government. We don't do that. We'll look at each other. Oh, it's you. No, it's you. It's you. I know it's you. Nigga, it's you. Well, shut up, bitch, it's you. You twerking on tables is the reason that they out here treating us like this. Y'all say the dumbest shit ever made. To each other, every day. I get on here to bring balance, and I don't give a fuck who don't like it. I could give a fuck less. You can get the fuck. Anybody don't like it, you can get the fuck out of here. It's the twerking. That's what's doing it. It's the gun violence with black men. That's what's doing it. When historically that's been disproven. They don't give a fuck if you got on businesses. They don't give a fuck if you create your own town with all black businesses. They gonna come in here and terrorize. That's what they do. But you think it's about twerking and violence. Something wrong with black folk. This is how I know it. This is how I know it. Something is wrong. Because you're not effective this way. You're not effective at all this way. And that's been shown historically. You're ineffective in this form. But you continue to stay in this form. And you don't see nothing wrong with it. Boy. Tell you what. Well, let me take a sip of my water real quick. Y'all done. Boy, y'all motherfuckers. This boy, I'm telling you, it kills me, man. It kills me. It kills me. This is it right here. Ask me what the solution is. And it's right here on the goddamn screen. Right here on the screen. Black folk don't want no damn solutions. We're too comforted by the way of life that we are engaged in right now. We're too comforted by blaming each other for the problems of the community. And I'm not saying that there isn't some relevance in, some of the behaviors that we engage in, but that is not why you are in the condition that we're in. It's not why. It's not why at all. Could we do better? Absolutely. I tell you niggas to stop cooning every time I come on here. Y'all can stop being white worshiping, self-hating ass coons. There's a solution. Are black folk gonna do it because I said it? Nope. Because before I said it, somebody way more educated than me said it. Even wrote you a book about it, and you didn't give a fuck then. And we talk about that. That's going to be a reoccurring theme here. Because I can't just continue to sit here and act like my ancestors didn't try to wake you niggas up too. They tried. Tried every way possible. Black folk don't care. We have no interest in real shit. We continue to fall for the illusion. We continue to stay tapped into this motherfucking matrix. That's what we are. Because hating each other, especially with the advent of social media, hating each other is more sensational. Black men and women pointing the finger at each other seems to be more logical to us. Anything less is us making excuses. Even talking about the truth in which this country is built, the truth on which this country is ran, the truth of the corruption at the very at the governmental level of this country. Are you making excuses, nigga? Go start you a business. That's all you need to do, and everything will be okay. Start you a fucking business. I'm gonna block you from mass distribution. I'm gonna block you from that. You won't be able to tap into that. Ask Kanye. You're not gonna be able to tap into mass distribution unless you come lay at my fucking feet. You won't be able to tap into that, but go start you a fucking business. Make you a few dollars and look at all the other black people and tell them they need to start them a business too. Shame them for not starting the businesses. Come get this education that I'm overcharging you for. As you start off, after you get this education, you start off in debt. Maybe that's black men's fault too. The corruption that is the college, the university, college, so-called higher education. Maybe that's black men's fault too. The public school system being as poor as it is. And I'm not talking about just financially poor, but the effort put into the students is also poor. Give it $100 or $10 billion to black women to start businesses is great. But $10 billion to go to public schools in black areas would have been more impactful, if you ask me. And if that sound like hate to you, I don't give a fuck. I'm just telling you what I believe. Everybody's not a fucking entrepreneur. That's not even realistic. But the public schools in our areas are suffering, though, and have been for decades. But don't nobody want to hear me, though. That's all it is. Nobody wants to hear me. And that's okay. Some of you people are so deep in your mindset as to being anti-black man or anti-black woman that you're not going to hear anything else. And that's fine. But this is not the place. This is not the right place for you to be in. Because we see this thing differently. You are everything that they wanted you to be. Everything that they want you to be, you are. And I am here to fight against that mentality. I want to be what the fuck they scared of. Not by brute force, but by taking them bitches off the pedestal. And as see how the young folks say, dragging them bitches for filth. That's that black. I hear black women say somebody got dragged for filth. I don't even know if it's relevant or not, but I'm dragging the caves for filth. And the coons too. And until we get out of that mindset, until we understand logically that what they're doing and what we allow them to do as we continue to infight with each other on pretty much a daily basis. Black men trying to have power in this system. Head beating up against that glass ceiling. And so we try to model the idea of our masculinity after the caves. That's what black men are doing. Pattern their patriarchy. It's a white patriarchy in blackface. Well, the ideas and the principles of this said patriarchy were the ideas and the principles that we got about patriarchy from them. The way that the society is set up, that idea of patriarchy isn't going to work for us. We have to carve out our own ideas of patriarchy. Because we're black. And the reason I say because we're black is not because I'm making an excuse. It's because the system and this entire world is anti-black. And thus, you don't just get to live a carefree, do whatever life. You don't get to do that. Not my fault that you don't get to do it. Black woman, you can't blame me that you don't get to do that. I'm not the one who made it painfully clear that you are black and thus you are lower. That's not what I did. Black man didn't do that. There's a group of people that did that. It wasn't us. It wasn't us. Now you can keep blaming black men. I mean, they don't. Again, the caves don't mind that. You can keep doing it because it keeps the microscope off of them. So keep doing it. I mean, again, you are feeding into exactly what they want you to be. We continue to reproduce generation after generation the perfect ideology to keep us in a state of subjugation and infighting with each other. This shit is wrong. The entire government, society is wrong. It's flawed. Very flawed. Fundamentally flawed. Because now, if you're not an entrepreneur, you ain't shit. You don't mean anything. You're nothing. You are absolutely nothing unless you are an entrepreneur. And if you're an entrepreneur and you're not making 6 figures a year, then you're a failure. Our men being thrown in prisons and our women being thrown on the streets. And y'all so damn dumb that y'all will look at each other and argue. It is quite impressive. Quite impressive. And I'm talking about, sometimes I just be sitting thinking, man, like, this can't be real. Like, what the fuck what am I doing here? What am I supposed to get from this? What am I supposed to gain from this reality as it pertains to the overall quality of my life? I ask myself that almost daily. Almost daily. How long will black people still sit here like this? When will we arm ourselves? And I'm not talking about with guns, and which guns should be included, but I'm not talking about guns in this case. When we arm ourselves with the mentality is strong enough to stand in the face of a motherfucker that's telling you who you supposed to hate. It's a white man, caveman, cavewoman telling you to hate the opposite sex of your race. Like, what the fuck what is that doing for us? How do you get blamed for an election when the caveman and woman gonna vote for the racist motherfucker every time? We talking about Georgia. Like, come on, yo. Come on, yo. It doesn't make any sense. Come on, yo. We gotta stop, man. You know how sometimes even some of y'all that may be privy to sports and how they work. Even if you got one superstar on a team, that one so-called superstar can't beat another team by himself. Him or herself. They just can't do it. They're going to need other people in positions to be able to help them out. That's how it works. Teamwork. But we're so stuck in this individual, I got to get mine. I got to do this. I got to do that. That it's fucking us up. And whatever happens, we blame each other. No matter what. No matter who's doing it. I mean, hell, is black men responsible for Flint's water? Jackson, Mississippi is why there's black men too? Okay, let me look at y'all. I drifted off. I started looking at my fucking... I drifted off again. I'm looking at my damn picture right here in front of me like I be doing all the time. From the 1968 Olympics. Let me get back to y'all's comments. Barrett, you said somebody got a question for me. Go ahead and ask your question, Roland. Go ahead and ask your question, brother. Oh, that's capitalism. That's what it is. Abdul... That secure the bag shit divide us even more. It's just capitalism. That's all it is. Capitalism gonna always divide. That's its purpose. It can't do nothing else. It has no other purpose. The rule of capitalism. The only way a person can make money is by shitting on other people. That's the rule. Like, there is no, billionaire, multi-millionaire, billionaire at the top of that without shitting on other people. It just don't work like that. It don't work like that. I was watching this documentary earlier today, and I be watching random ass documentaries all the time. This one was about the Victoria's Secret and the caveman who founded Victoria's Secret. I forget his fucking name. The caveman who founded Victoria's Secret, the only way he was able to make a lot of money was he went overseas and paid people 15 cents an hour to make his shit. Like that and then when I saw that part, I was like, I just got through talking about this with Kanye's situation. It's the distribution. That's what it is. Being able to pay people 15 cents an hour. I just seen something earlier too. Jeff Bezos talking about he gonna give most of his money to fucking charity. That's what he got all this money. He gonna give most of it to charity. Try paying the motherfuckers that work at the factories. You hoe ass, cave ass motherfucker. Like, why pay the people that work at the factories? No one gives a fuck. You gonna give your money to charities? Pay the people that work for you. Those people should be set for fucking life. You work at Amazon. You should be set. You should be able to work that one job and live a good life. This motherfucker talking about he gonna give all this money to charity. What the fuck good is that? It doesn't make any sense. And no one says anything. Like, no one says anything. Wexner, exactly. Tina Marie, either you watched or you just know about Victoria's Secret. Now, like, what the fuck am I doing watching the Victoria's Secret documentary? Like, really? These caves out here molesting all these models. Nobody says anything at all. Sexually assaulting these little, even the young girls. Nobody says anything at all. Wexner out here doing it big. Retail. Giant. Retail mogul. Slave labor. Come on, man. Come on, man. Nobody says anything. Okay, Roland, what you got? Roland says, are older or younger coons worse? I feel like the OGs are supposed to look out for us, but don't. Man, that's a tough spectrum. But of course, to me, the older ones are worse because they've seen more of this reality than the younger ones, just based on the amount of time that they've been here. You've seen what works, what don't work, the tricks that black people have fallen for, and we still continue to be in the same position. So to me, the older coons are way worse off. Because what the older coons do is raise little mini coons. And the little mini coon has no idea on how this shit work for real. They don't know anything. But the older coons done sit here, seen shit that worked, seen shit that didn't work, and still be out here cooning. It's mind-blowing to me. But I think most definitely older coons are worse. Most definitely. Most definitely. Pink Cloud says, hey, Robert, do you believe in colorism? Well, colorism is an actual thing. It's not even about a belief. Do I practice in colorism? No. To me, black is beautiful, period. Don't care nothing about it. Regardless, that's me. But colorism is a real thing. It is a real thing. And it was introduced to us by none other than the caves. That's who introduced that shit to us. But it's most definitely not even a matter of belief. I don't practice colorism. I don't believe in that shit. I don't believe in it. Losey says, man, OG's worse because they let this shit slide to now in church and out of it. Youth trying to shift but get told this the way. Man, that church is such a huge crutch on black people's mind. I mean, it's a huge ball and chain on black people's mind. That church, that religious shit, is a huge ball and chain on black people's mind. But if you notice, with churches, they don't have a revolutionary sermon. They don't have one. You pray for whatever you need. You pray for and wait. Pray and wait. This is pretty much it. Here you are. dealing with this system of capitalism, and you're praying for the caves to shift their hearts, shift their minds, maybe end racism, maybe end capitalism in the way that it's ran now, but it's not going to happen. Not gonna. I don't give a damn what Bible verse you go to. I don't give a damn the whole. I don't think that method has worked, and we should know by now that it doesn't work at all. Period. I don't think that method doesn't work for us at all. Capitalism don't give a fuck about the Bible. They told you in God we trust. Their God is money. They're not talking about the same one they sold you or the same one they beat into you. They're not talking about that one. Their God is money. And that's what we got it fucked up. Now, I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's righteous. I'm saying that that's their God. That's their God. Mad love to you, Tina Marie. Mad love to you for being here. If you're new here, go back and watch some of my other streams. I would appreciate that. And if you are here right now, please hit that like button for me. Pink Cloud says, okay, Robert, I still think you can't see stuff. What do you mean? Here. What do you mean? I can't see stuff. What am I not seeing? Tell me what I'm missing here. Maybe I misinterpreted your initial comment. Put me up on game, Pink Clouds. What am I missing here? Because we're anti-coon. And any black person practicing colorism is a coon, in which case we're anti that mentality. But let me know what I'm missing here. Well, right, exactly. Jay said it. Jay Barrett, any black person practicing that shit has a coon mentality. There is no other way to put it. Exactly. And we completely against that shit over here. I just know where the colorism came from. In which case, if we were to take the cave off the pedestal and the things that they taught us become, the things that we've gotten from them that have been a detriment to our people, if we just put that shit down, we'd be a much more powerful people, in my opinion. Take it. Take whatever you want. Poetic Slim said, hey, Rob, I'm using that LOL anti-coon. Hey, take it. Take it. I wish. That's a hell of a name. Real women don't do nonsense. Says coons have a short shelf life. I wish that were true. Them bitches can live to be 1,000, seem like some of them. Them bitches can live to be 1,000. Pink Cloud says, you don't like what it is. You don't like what it see as a black woman. Robert and mine, I've been watching you since my early mid-20s, Rob. You don't like what it see as a black woman. What you don't like what it see as a black woman. You have to break that down a little bit more for me. What you mean? You don't like what it see as a black woman. Man, it don't matter what I say. Gina Turner, even in this chat tonight, it's a lot of love and adoration for Cave still after all Rob has been saying. And I'm going to tell you what's so crazy. It ain't just me that's been saying it. I'm talking about the greatest black people ever. It's so crazy to me that we keep ignoring that. But I do want to know what you mean. You don't like what it see as a black woman. You have to break that down. I understand what you've been watching me since your early mid-20s. I would argue that if you have been watching me, you haven't watched everything. You jump in and out. There's no way There's no way you've been watching me consistently. There's no way. I can't believe that. You may jump in and out every once in a while, but there is no way you've been watching me consistently, because I'm growing mentally. I've been growing mentally here right in front of your eyes. So, I don't know what you mean here. But if there's something that I'm not, I don't know, something that you say I'm anti-black woman or some shit, I have no idea. I have no idea. Nicole said she trolling. I don't know. She may not be trolling. She may have a legitimate gripe. I just don't think anybody who watches me, week in and week out, who catches everything I say, can say that I'm anti-black woman or anti-black. I don't think anybody can say that about me. Period. I don't think there's any black woman that's mad at me. She just don't fuck with black men, and that's fine. But if anybody been watching me consistently and they can come to the conclusion that I'm anti-black woman, then that's just, I would have to chalk it up. Like, okay, they ain't been watching. Now I'm gonna get on black women's ass if they cooning. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But I ain't never told you I wouldn't. I never told you I wouldn't. I'm on black women's ass. If you don't like it, then get the hell out of here. I said it earlier. If you don't like what's going on here, get the hell out of here. It is what it is. I'm not the type of channel that's letting black women off the goddamn hook. I'm not doing it. I'm not letting nobody off the hook. Because I know the only way we're going to fix this shit is together. Ain't no other way. You don't get to stand up on a fucking pedestal and say, well, no, it's you, it's you, it's you. Or, black women stand on a pedestal and say, it's you, it's you, it's you. Black men get on a pedestal, no, it's you, it's you, it's you. That shit ain't going to work, and it ain't worked. So we need to have another business model. It is what it is. It is what it is. It does. Mickey, it does seem like that, but I'm going to keep rolling. Mickey says, damn if you do, damn if you don't. It don't matter. It don't even matter. Marvin, let them look, goddammit. Nah, I'm bullshit. No. Put your headphones on at best. Say, can't listen to Rob out loud at work. People going to look at you crazy. Man, they ain't going to be able to say that motherfucker lying. Bet you that. Bet you that. Bet you they won't be able to say that motherfucker. He is lying like a bitch right there. They won't be able to say that. Because my truth bears out in reality. And it doesn't make me proud to say that. That doesn't make me proud. I don't beat my chest on me being right. It takes a coon to see black people performing at the level that we performing at and be happy just because I'm right. This shit don't make me happy. Seeing how people conduct ourselves this way, it bothers me. It makes me furious. It enrages me. I take no pride in being right about the cave worship, the putting the cave up on a pedestal, keeping that cave on a pedestal, and then us seeing the enemy in each other, and I see it play out time in, event after event. That doesn't. I don't take no pleasure in that shit at all. I take no pleasure in it. And I'm going to tell you what, Gina, I don't mind it. Says they would rather complain about your speaking points versus leaving if they don't agree. I don't mind them disagreeing. I just want them to flush it out. You can disagree with me. I don't mind that. Because like I said, reality going to hold up what I'm saying. I don't give a fuck. Reality is going to show exactly what I'm saying. So I don't mind the disagreement. I just be wanting people to flush it out. Like, don't just say, well, nigga, like somebody said earlier, well, white men do support black women more than anybody else. Okay, well, flesh that out. So are you saying that you're willing to forgive the debt that they owe black women anyway, more than $10 billion? Are you willing to forgive that? And the reason that black women even need that $10 billion? Are you willing to forgive that? Because if you are, then yeah, you can say that. But if you're going to ignore the history, then that's your choice. That's some coon shit. Ignore the history and be happy about that $10 billion, but they owe you more than that. You're more valuable than that. The money they done made off the black woman. Man, listen. Remus O'Beal or Remus OB the third, maybe. But I'll just Remus. Says, how do you stay in it, bro? I gave up on us for real. Man, listen, I don't know, man. I'm going to tell you what keeps me going, though, for real. I look at the advancement of technology. And I think about what, some of our greatest teachers and our greatest orators, how powerful they would have been had they had social media. Now, I would argue that black people still wouldn't have paid them no attention. But they were doing it in the face of so much adversity. I mean, if you look at us historically, even if you go all the way back to the plantation, the black people who wanted to be free, what they had to do was strike out running through the woods, following the North Star. If they can do that, I can sit here and do this. I can walk up, get up out of this house. I can speak truth to power out loud in front of anybody, no matter what so-called job I'm at, no matter where I am. I can represent for my people. If there are some of us who struck out running through the woods, I can't give up. I don't care if I never get a huge channel. I don't care if it never, blows, or, I'm not going to get the, 400,000 subs. I'm not going to get none of that. But I can never give up, because I watched, some of our greatest teachers, they never gave up. They would give speeches and lectures to rooms that only had 20, 30 people in it sometimes. Write books. Those books wasn't number one sellers on the New York Times. They weren't number one sellers amongst our people even. So if they can do that, if they can dedicate themselves to it that way, speaking what they feel out loud, they didn't give a fuck who was listening, but they was going to try, then I feel as though I must. And then on top of that, the amount of people who hit me up and tell me, damn, I never even thought about the shit that you're talking about. I never looked at it that way. I'm trying to decoonify myself, for lack of a better term. Those messages where I'm having people telling about their kids, and, they're looking at it, and now they're going to raise their kids a little bit different. More pro-black, would be pro-black, or B123, black first, second, and third. That shit, I mean, it means everything to me. Because what else am I doing? I spend most of my time trying to survive in this capitalist system, because this system exists. So that's what I'm having to do. This right here, I do for my heart, and I don't give a fuck who like it. That's what keeps me going. I don't care who like it. I don't care if I get a standing ovation. I'm doing this for maybe the one or two or maybe 3, 4 people that will listen to what I'm saying and make the adjustments, see what I'm saying as it plays out in life, and make certain adjustments that may make them raise their kids better. So I just keep going for that. It is what it is to me. I got to keep going. Look at what we've done. I mean, I want to be, and maybe not directly, or of course not as, famous or known as some of the greatest people we've ever had. But look, though, like, what else? What else is there to do out here? You know what I'm saying? Like, I could dedicate my arguments to who's the greatest basketball player of all time, who's going to win the Super Bowl this year, or talk about dumb shit, talk about pussy, talk about relationships, talk about sex and shit like that, getting money, securing bags and all this shit. I can come on here. I could do all that shit. But I have no interest in none of that shit. I could be a completely different person. Hell, I could be in prison somewhere. I chose this. I chose this shit. Or maybe it chose me. Maybe I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it justice by saying I chose it, because some of you that been here since my early YouTube days when I had the most subscribers, maybe it chose me, and I saw myself losing subscribers, and then I kept going. I could have easily switched up my message. I could switch it up right now. Talk about stupid shit all day. Trash black women all day. Talk about modern this and modern woman this and modern man that and alpha male this, and I could do that same shit and get the same subs that everybody else can do. Because I can talk. My shit ain't wrote. I don't write nothing down. I just come here and talk to y'all. I don't got no script. I can do that same shit. But that ain't what it's about for me. I do this shit from my heart. For the people. That's why I don't be giving a fuck. And that's why sometimes I cuss motherfuckers out like I do. Because I know I'm doing this shit from the passion of my heart. Looking at my ancestors in the eyes. I got these, y'all done seen my where I do the videos. I got posters and, my ancestors up here repping in different times in life, repping all up around me. I can't even look at those pictures and not. I don't see how black people coon. To me, the better question is, how do black people keep cooning like this? How? When we're at our most regal, talk about kings and queens, and your fist ain't up. What the fuck you mean? What good is a crown? To me, I don't get it. But I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna keep doing this for the people who have interest in this. That's what keeps me going, bro. And I know I didn't mean to drag the answer to that question out, but you know, that's just how I feel. What the fuck good is a crown? I don't understand us at all. But I'm gonna keep trying. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep trying for our people. And mad love to y'all. Mad love to y'all for even listening to me, because I know, you know, this ain't no sensational shit. You know what I'm saying? Black folk like drama, man. I know that. Black folk like celebrity gossip. I know that. That's what we are attracted to, because that's how low vibrational our minds operate. That's what we like. That's what led to the boom of the reality show. Even though we know it's scripted. I saw some shit the other day. Was it Safari? His old gay ass. I saw him, and he was saying something along the lines of something that was scripted that he had did. He said something about him laying up with some other black woman or some shit like that. But he spoke to it being a part of the sensationalism of the show. That's a working formula for our people. And I think that's so sad that everybody knows how to draw us in. And it's not with facts. It's not with empowerment. It's not with knowledge. It's not with black pride. It's not with none of that. It's drama, mess, you know. And it's so crazy that we don't feel no type of way about that. We feel nothing. We feel nothing about it. Nothing at all. That's how they market it to us. That's how they popularize certain things to us. And we feel nothing. That's our demographic. Drama, even on social media. Even when you get to choose what you talk about. Now, of course, everybody's chasing algorithm. But when you get to choose what you talk about, look at what we choose. And then we'll sit out here and act like somebody making us do it. Ain't nobody making you do that. You choosing money over pride. That's what they've been. They need that from black people. Because without it, they lose. Without that, they lose. So even when you get to choose your talking points, you get to choose what you talk about. And, and I ain't even trying to laugh, but look at what we choose. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm talking about, I be some smart people. Some of these people be smart. And it's like, look at what you choose. Ain't nobody making you do that. Ain't nobody making you that. I'm not going, and this is one of the things, I'm not going to let the white man, his mama, I'm not making them carry that. Look at what you choose. And to me, that's just, you know. And black men and women, I'm talking about, we find every reason. Like Stacey Abrams, every reason in the world to be against each other. Like, it makes no sense. Nobody gonna support us but us. For real. For real. That's just what it is. That's how it's been. And you may make you a couple dollars getting that other support, but they'll snatch the rug right from under your motherfucking feet whenever they get ready. If you decide to stand up for yourself, if you decide to stand in your truth, they'll snatch the rug off from under your motherfucking feet. Let's say, for example, let coon ass Candace Owens, let her have a black awakening. Them white cave motherfuckers gonna pull that rug off from under her so goddamn fast. Like, wait, you not a coon no more? It'll be over for her. Any of these conservative or conservative social media platforms, whether you got your ABLs or your Officer Tatums, let them coon ass niggas use their intelligence and be anti-government, pro their people, pro black people. It'll be over there. Motherfuckers will pull the rug off from under them bitches so fast because they only accept you in one form. You have to be either, well, I won't say one form. I'll say you have to be creating division of some kind amongst black people, or you'll have to be denying racism, period, systematic or otherwise. That's what you'll have to do to get their support or to be okay. And this would be algorithms and all this old shit. You got to do one of those two things. Or, of course, just don't talk about race at all. You can do celebrity gossip and chase down, who is it now? Nick Cannon's dick and how many kids he got. Like, that's your fucking business. Like, you could, that's what we like, man. That's what we like. Hold on, let me get this motherfucker the fuck up out of here. This boy said, hot photo of my sister. Get your bitch ass the fuck up out of here, boy. These goddamn sexual bots or whatever the fuck they be. Goddamn sex bots. If you don't get your bitch ass the fuck up out of here. Motherfuckers. Coming with that bullshit. Spamming my goddamn shit. Get your ass the fuck up out of here. Yeah, right. Shitting me. Gina says why Stacey didn't go after the Mexican vote. Yeah, right. Them Mexicans will spit on Stacey. They hate black people. I don't give a damn what nobody say. I remember a video, or was it a video I did? One of their favorite so-called Hispanics is AOC. This is a cave bitch, Spanish-speaking, taco-eating cave hoe that supposedly speaks truth to power. She was riding with Bernie Sanders because supposedly he was supposed to be something good for black folk. As if we listen to Killer Mike tell us, he was supposed to be something good for black folk. But you listen to AOC, she did a Breakfast Club interview some years back. And I broke that shit down because I had been saying this about AOC the whole time. She's anti-black. She just is. She just is. She's pro so-called Latinas. And I'm not knocking that bitch for that. I just don't like seeing black people carry people that are anti-black. And that's one of our problems. We will carry people even though they are anti-black. But the Mexicans is not going to carry. Most of these would-be Mexicans are, a lot of them be Republican anyway. They're not going to carry a black woman. They hate black people. For no goddamn reason. For no goddamn reason. For no reason. They hate black people for no reason, and we let them bitches slide with that. Because we like margaritas. Motherfucker, I'm going to eat me a goddamn chimichanga. Shredded chicken chimichanga. I'm going to eat the fuck out of it. I'm going to eat it. Shit good. I'm not going to hold them. But am I going to believe that because I'm eating this chimichanga, I ate me some tacos, and I ain't drinking no goddamn, what nigga, what's that bearded nigga, Corona? Niggas be drinking fucking Coronas and shit. You think because you goddamn drinking Coronas that Mexicans fuck with you. They don't fuck with you. They don't fuck with you. Now, black folk, we are under this illusion that everybody love us. It's an illusion. We don't even like the idea that people don't love us. We'd rather just say that they do, even if they're proven that they don't. Because something's wrong with us. That's our low self-esteem. We want everybody to like us. You know damn well, especially if you're a parent, what you going to tell your kid if they want everybody to like them? You gonna say, baby, you don't need everybody to like you. That's what you going to say to them. That's what you going to say to your child if they come to you with that same bullshit. But when it comes to us, grown as fuck, we can't say that to ourselves. We don't need everybody like us. Fuck them people. Fuck everybody. And I find it so interesting that the same messages that we'll give our kids about bullies and about them trying to be liked by everybody, we'll tell our kids to fight back. And we'll tell our kids, who gives a fuck if everybody don't like you? Fuck them people. We won't take that message for ourselves and apply that to the caves. It's very, very odd to me. You know you're going to tell your child that. Fuck them people. But when it comes to these caves, we don't. It's like, wait a minute, Ma, Daddy, you said stand up for yourself and fight, but you're not fighting. How do you live with yourself? You going to tell your kid to go be ready to beat a third grader's ass, but your ass is sitting around laying down for the caves. It's a confusing message for our children. You lay down for the caves. Skinning and grinning for the caves. Shucking and jiving for the caves. But then you tell them to stand up to bullies. Like they probably be like, man, if you don't get the fuck out of here, you ain't never stood up to shit. Only thing you teaching your kids is to fight other black folk. You don't teach them shit else. And there should be something wrong with that to black people, but it's not. That's normal. That's okay. Because I'm going to teach my kid, I don't give a fuck who they are. I don't give a damn what race they are. If they coming for you, then goddamn beat their motherfucking ass. Period. But they get to see me be like that. They don't see me cooning and buck dancing for no goddamn cave. They don't be whispering and shit about what's true around these people. I don't do none of that. So they get a living example of that. Y'all ain't giving our kids don't have no examples. Our kids don't have no examples. I'll be damned if I'm going to whisper the truth around some fucking caves. I'll be damned. My kids ain't going to never see that shit. Another reason why I do this shit. Because I'm only being who I am in real life. I just happen to sit and do it in this room right here. Or wherever. Hell, my work truck, some of y'all seen that. And I don't give a fuck. My kids, they not seeing they daddy be no goddamn coon. They daddy cower around no caves. No. Not doing that. Not doing it. I don't teach them that their enemy is just other black people. No. Now, you know, kids, you're not really dealing with a coon ideology heavy, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade and all that shit. You're not really dealing with coon ideology. But I teach them what a coon is. What is a self-hating ass coon? And why I can't let you be one. Period. Period. And they still make the highest grades in their fucking class. What you mean? Black folk telling me, you know, if you don't not saying there's anything wrong with homeschooling. But if I don't homeschool my kids, then they're going to be coons or they're going to, no. They go to these schools, make the highest grade in class, and they still ain't cooning. Because I'm here to teach them as well. We don't give our kids both forms of education. We'll say, well, we work too much to teach our kids. What the fuck you mean? You don't work too much to beat their ass? You don't work too much to yell at them, cuss them out, record stupid ass videos of you humiliating them. You don't work too much for that. But when it comes to teaching, oh, no, yeah, we be at work too much. Fuck you mean? Fuck you talking about? You can't teach them nothing? They can't see you be proud? Man, boy, I'm telling y'all. I'm going to tell you something. If we don't show our kids how to look at this society, and I told y'all, just like me going to watch that Black Panther 2 movie, I'm going to go watch that movie. I'm going to look at it with my eyes, though. I'm not coming in just ready to worship a film because they put black in the title. I'm not coming in for that. I'm going to watch it with my eyes. If you don't give your kids these lenses young, let them see. The reason our kids fall victim to what we call Eurocentric styles and Eurocentric ideologies is because we allow them to. We sit them in front of devices and TVs and we frame nothing for them. We frame nothing. We don't want to do the framework. I frame it for my children. You have to. So that way, because the propaganda isn't going to stop. I don't know. You have to be creating a whole different world where you think the propaganda going to stop just because white folk going to hear y'all black folk crying and they just going to stop. That ain't going to happen. And I said that in the Instagram post. I said, I'm going to go watch it. But if y'all thought that these caves was about to make a revolutionary liberation movie for y'all, y'all crazy. I'm not saying you can't go watch the movie and any of these Avengers or whatever the fuck you want to watch. Your kid might like Spider-Man. I mean, I ain't tell you not to let your kid watch Spider-Man, but you damn sure better go frame it for him and with them. Go frame it for him. That's the work we don't want to do. Oh, man, that's a crazy compliment, bro. That's a crazy compliment. Valine, they don't hear you. They're not gonna hear you. They don't hear me. That's why they still ask me about a solution. Valine says, for those who are asking for a solution, Rob just mentioned one. They don't hear that. They didn't hear none of that. That went straight over that went straight over their head. I'm telling you, when I talk to black parents, they tell me it's impossible. They tell me it's impossible. So I know that the kids don't really stand much of a chance unless they come in on their own, like many of us do, just come into it on our own. That we shouldn't have to. That should be a part of our so-called culture, but it's not. But that's a crazy compliment, man. I really, Marshawn, I appreciate that. I mean, I don't think I'm on Dr. Amos level, but the fact that you would even put me in that conversation, man, I really appreciate that. I really, really do. That's huge because Dr. Amos was a beast. A full-blown beast. And guess what? As intelligent as he was, as many books as he wrote, black people ignore him. That's crazy. As great as he was, black people ignored him. So that's why I don't pay black folk no attention. When they talking about, well, it's you be cussing. Shut up. Shut your coon ass up. You don't want to hear it no matter what. You listen to a nigga rapping a song, cussing, calling black women bitches and hoes and all this shit and spinning the block and killing niggas. That don't bother you none. But me using profanity as I'm trying to give a message to our people, I'm going to say a motherfucking hoe ass, bitch ass cave. I'm going to say that shit and I don't give a fuck. But you cuss too much. Okay. Go keep listening to that motherfucking music because guess what? The people who are going to be the people that I give a fuck about, the people that I want to hear me, don't give a fuck nothing about no cussing. So you can go sit your sedity ass down somewhere because you have great black people that never use profanity, and you didn't listen to them either. So stop fucking lying and just say you're a coon. If you're a coon, just say that. Talking about some damn cussing. I can't even believe these niggas sometimes. It's so disgusting because I'm talking about right here on YouTube. Listen to some of these people speak, no profanity used at all. Black people still ignore them. Get the fuck out of here talking to me about some damn cussing. Get the fuck out of here talking to me about some damn cussing. If you're a coon, just say that. Do you even realize that? You see what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like, I'm going to see that movie and we're going to talk about it. When I go see that movie, I'm going to come in here with y'all and we're going to talk about that shit. And we're going to have some fun. It is what it is. All right. I don't expect the Black Panther to be the Black Panther 2 movie to be anything but, some nice black imagery. Beautiful, I'm sure. As far as the cinematics are concerned, I'm sure it's going to be beautiful. But I saw the first Black Panther. So I don't expect them to go, and they're going against the comic books anyway. The Black Panther in the comic books was a militant guy. He was a militant superhero. Smart as fuck. Up there eclipsing even the brain of Iron Man. Now I forget the actual. I know Robert Downey Jr. played the character, but smart as fuck. They not gonna show that shit. I know this movie gonna have some bullshit in there. I know it is, but I like these superhero movies. I like the graphics and shit, so I'm gonna go see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go see it and we're gonna talk about it. I seen everybody been talking. I ain't been watching none of. I've been seeing everybody talking about it, but I ain't want to watch what they said because I don't want it to influence what I'm going to go look at. I want to go in with a clean slate and talk about the movie as it were. But we gonna do that shit. I'm gonna try to get up there this week because if y'all know this is getting a little, and I don't know about y'all area, but for a while it was a little warm outside. This done got a little chilly out this motherfucker now. So hopefully some of that cold and me trying to go on a weekday, the crowd. I don't like crowds. Some people just say that shit and they be, everywhere the crowd at. Like, I hate people, but be at the club every goddamn. They're like, shut your lying ass up. I'm really an introvert. Shut your lying ass up. You just saying something because you think it's trendy or you think it's cool. It's going to make you stand out. You're not an introvert if you at every goddamn club. Stop this. Like, you around me. I really don't fuck with people heavy like that. But, so I'm trying to avoid the big, huge crowd. So I can go in and actually focus on what I'm looking at here. I'm gonna take me a goddamn a notepad in there maybe. I probably won't take no notepad in there. I mean, because typically talking about movies, that shit just flow. I ain't trying to write no goddamn thesis on it. I'm gonna come in here and candidly talk about the movie. I ain't about to take no notepad in that bitch. We gonna talk about that shit regular. I ain't even gonna do all that. I'm not even gonna do all that. Right. We don't get to see that though. Because I know they didn't recast the Black Panther. Marvin says Black Panther was said to be the smartest man in the whole Marvel universe. But they don't recast Chadwick Boseman after he passed away. They didn't even recast him. So I knew upon that it was some bullshit. Like, what the fuck? So because an actor passes away in real life, I've seen 1,000 Jokers, 1,000 Batmans, 1,000 Supermans, 1,000 Spider-Mans. What you mean you don't recast them? What the fuck do you mean? And if they allow in this movie for the new Black Panther to be a woman, I'm gonna be done. I already know what the fuck type time they're gonna be. I have a feeling they're gonna be on that type of time. Because if you don't recast a man to play the character, then automatically it's a woman. Like somebody in that bitch is gonna be the Black Panther. And I feel like they're gonna let it be a woman. And again, I don't got no issues with women at all, but come the fuck on. The fuck you mean you can't recast that? Well, I just watched the movie with Joaquin Phoenix played the new Joker. After Ledger played Joker. So you can double up in Batman's. Come on, yo. You can't recast? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm not. I didn't see that. Marshana says you're going to see that movie about Emmett Till and Mamie Till. No, I'm not. I don't plan on going to see that. It doesn't interest me. Again, I'm watching superhero shit because I genuinely like the graphics and superhero fights and all. I like that shit. You know, I always have since I was a young man. Even with the comic books and shit like that. So, but the Emmett Till, I already know. I mean, that's history. That's historical fact. And they still let the white bitch run around out here like she ain't do nothing. So it's like, what the fuck you showing this shit for? Are y'all gonna go arrest this bitch? No? Okay. Say less. Stay through the credits. I stayed through the credits in the first one. Let me tell y'all this. I'm about to get off here. I've been on here for over 2 hours. Let me say this to Francesca. I could be saying that wrong. Relaford. I could be saying that wrong. But make sure you stay through the credits. Can't wait to get your take on that. On the first one, I stayed through the credits, and all I saw was a cave. Sitting at the Wakandans that came to the table with the UN, which is unnecessary. You're Wakanda. You have vibranium. Show love to your people. Fuck the UN. But nonetheless, some people say I'm extra, so whatever. But I saw the cave. It's like, what the fuck? What the cave doing here? The cave saved the day in the first movie. So I don't expect, just a whole bunch of cave shit. That's what I saw. It's like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, come on. Get the fuck out of here, man. I haven't seen Black Adam, but I heard it was tough. I want to see Black Adam is one I would watch. I haven't seen Black Adam. Jude, why did you spoil that? Jude said, a lot of you don't read the comics. Shuri becomes the new Black Panther in the comics. It would be accurate. She becomes the new Black Panther in the comics. Does she stay the Black Panther is a whole man? He had at least a 20-year run as a man, right? What, we get one movie and it becomes a woman? That's still, I don't give a damn about the accuracy of the comic books. And you spoiled that for me. So now I know that my hunch was right. So I appreciate that, support my hunch. But I'm still going to watch it. It ain't going to matter. But nonetheless, in the comic books, he had a run before Shuri became Black Panther. Not one movie. So I'm not listening to that. I'm not listening to that. I mean, I understand that. And I ain't like I was a comic book, fiend. I ain't going to Comic-Con or no shit like that. I wasn't in there heavy like that. I caught them when I could. And, as a young man, you kind of lean towards superheroes and shit like that. But no. Nope. No. I don't fuck with that. I mean, I'm sure they have to recast him. Thank you, Deshaun. No, hold on. We're going to save this conversation. I'm going to read this comment. We're going to save this conversation, though. Shuri only been the Black Panther temporarily. In recent memory, Black Panther has been a man for over 50 plus years. They never killed off T'Challa. I thought that too. So justifying the fuckery that they did here is just, no, I'm not justifying that. Sherlock, I've watched, you say you lean more towards Sherlock Holmes. I've watched all the Sherlock, the movies that Robert Downey Jr. played in, Sherlock, the shows. I fucked with Sherlock. I fucks with that. Even the show, let me ask you this, Jude, and I'm gonna leave you alone. We're gonna talk movie shit on when I go watch this movie. Then we can talk about the shit or movie show shit. Have you watched the show Elementary? It was a caveman and then Lucy Liu's Asian cave ass in there. She played God damn it, Sherlock and God damn it. What's his sidekick? Fuck, I'm drawing a blank. But she played the sidekick to Sherlock Holmes in the show Elementary. I haven't watched that show. I've watched most of the depictions of Sherlock Holmes. I've always liked Sherlock, even since I was a kid. I fuck with Sherlock. Yeah. Boy, Jude, I might be able to fuck with you on this shit. I might be able to fuck with you. You say it's better than the BBC show to me, because I watched the BBC show too with the other white man. I forget it. Watson. Okay, Watson just came to me. That was who the Chinese bitch played. She played Watson there. So that was that. To me, I fucks with that. I fuck with that show. Watson, y'all saying in the goddamn Watson's ass. But the show Elementary, that was a good ass show to me. That was a good show. I ain't gonna hold it. Now, of course, Sherlock is an asshole. He always is. But now I seen they got Enola Holmes. His sister apparently got a show on Netflix, or 2 movies on Netflix, Enola Holmes 1 and Enola Holmes 2. I started to watch them shit because it's the little white bitch that played 11 in Stranger Things. She plays Enola Holmes, the sister. So I may watch that shit. I don't know. But I do fuck with Sherlock, though. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. What's up, Razi? What's up, Razi? But yeah, no, we gonna deal with that Black Panther shit, because I don't know how everybody. I know me. I know how I talk about movies and shit. We're gonna come in here and do a candid review and talk about the bullshit I saw in the movie. We're gonna do that. Hopefully I get to watch it at some point this week. I'm not going over the weekend. That's just a no-go. I refuse to go over the weekend, so I can't get to it this week. I'll get to it the next week. I'm not going on the weekend because I don't want to deal with the crowd at all. Especially black folk I'm seeing putting on these costumes, and I just don't understand it. But I know that that's something that black folk like to step out in style, you know. Like to step out in style out this bitch. But I'm not with all that bullshit. So I'm gonna get to it on a day it's calm in that motherfucker, and I can just watch the movie and then we're gonna talk about it. But y'all listen, hopefully y'all enjoyed the conversation, the show. And I'm gonna keep telling y'all know I'm gonna come in here and bang on this drum all the time. Black men and women, you are dumb as fuck. You dumb. If you look into the eyes of the creator of your life, which is the black woman, the womb that you come through, and the black man, without him, you don't get to have them babies. And we finding that out now that they talking about the sperm bank is running low on black sperm. Now, they're not upping the price. I actually saw something that said they offering people $70 to $100 to give sperm. Like, if it's a shortage, bitch, you need to be running me $1,000. I might go out there and jack off in the fucking cup, but I'm not taking no $70. Like, and y'all at a shortage? Without black sperm, there are no black babies, period. How do y'all look at the creator of yourself in the eyes of each other and see you as the enemy, as this entire fucking system is set out to oppress you, minimize you, and you've taken on their mindsets, which is why you're having such an issue. This is why liberation has been such a struggle, because you don't even see that you are in a war at all. Y'all keep looking at each other as the problem. Even though black men voted for Stacey Abrams more than any other male demographic, you still gonna blame the black man. Even though these fucking caves voted for motherfucking Kemp, the caveman, as they would, and I'm not knocking them for it. Even though they voted for that white motherfucking man, black women, you gotta ask yourself, where the fuck are these cave bitches when you need them? And have they ever been there? That's what you need to ask yourself. Because as we run around here looking for all these friends outside of us, the only people that give a fuck about you is you. And until you realize that, you're going to have a problem. And it ain't just me. I'm not the first person to tell you. I'm just one of the last people that you're going to ignore. But I'm telling you, it's the only way. All right? Mad love to y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming to spend this time with me. Y'all hit that like button. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Shout out Team Rob. Y'all already know what the fuck it is. Black first, second, and third. I'm out.